Good morning, Houston. Welcome to the Smart Millennial Tech Hour. We're back, the relaunch. We used to be live on KCOH, and we're now broadcasting and producing from Smart Labs here in Houston, off of Alameda in Riverside. We want to start by first of all welcoming each and every one of you to the #1 technology show in H-Town and in the United States and in the world. Here, you're going to always get your answers to any technology question that you have. We are here as a team. We're going to introduce you to every member of the team here this morning, and then we're going to get into the subject matter. The subject matter today will be check that open back door in your house. Check that open back door in your house. And parents, we want you to know this is not a physical back door, but rather this is a virtual back door, and it's associated with the internet or any device that can get you to the internet. So what that means, parents, you need to check your children's cell phone, their mobile devices, their game consoles, or any type of mobile device that has internet access capabilities. And not only do you need to check it, but you need to be aware of the user's name and the user password so that you can check it at your leisure and so that you can know what's going on within your child's life socially, as well as personally, as well as educationally. So we're not going to get into the in-depth portions of the show. We're going to first stop and introduce the team. And I'd like to start by introducing our co-host, which is my partner, my best friend, my lover, and my wife, Taylor in the house. Taylor.
Hello, Houston, and welcome to Smart Millennial Tech Hour. I hope you join us every Saturday at 9 a.m.
All right, so thank you very much. And beyond that, Houston, we would also like to stop and introduce you to each member of the team. And each member of the team will tell you what their role will be on the show and what they will do to add value to the show and hopefully enrich your day and your mornings every Saturday. Let's start with you, Johnny IV.
Good morning, Houston. My name is Johnny Taylor IV. I hope you join us every Saturday.
And what will you be doing on the show?
I will be doing a smart comedy minute.
Can you give us an example of what type of comedy that people can expect when they come here and tap into the Smart Millennial Tech Hour? Can you give Joe?
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
You can do it.
So the Popeyes and Chick-fil-A war is getting pretty serious. I haven't seen a war this big since Good Burger versus Mondo Burger.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Johnny. That was good. Okay. Big burger. Okay. Jim Taylor, go ahead. How you doing?
Good morning, my name is Sheila Taylor, and today I'll be doing the spoken word for the technology news this morning.
Okay. Can you give us an example of what that technology or that spoken word would be?
Spoken word today is called integrity. And integrity means high quality and high respect at all times. For example, if someone respects you, you gotta respect them back. Because if you don't give respect, you're not gonna have respect. In other words, respect everyone you know. Because if you don't respect someone, people are not going to like you. If you respect someone, people are going to like you the way you act, present, and show your feelings.
That's exactly right. And Houston, to take that a little deeper, remember, respect is always mutual. So if someone's not giving you respect, move on. Keep it moving. Don't waste your time and energy on disrespect. Okay? Next, we want to introduce Johannes Taylor in the house, college student. Tell us what your role is on the show, Johannes.
My name is Johannes Taylor, and currently I am enrolled at TSU. I am an art major, and every week I will have at least one new painting to show off.
So you will have smart art on the show, correct?
Yes, sir.
Each week, okay? So Houston, from Johannes, you can see smart art once a week, okay? And last but not least, Johnny Taylor III. Tell us about your role and what you will do on the show.
Yes, my name is Johnny. I am part of the Smart Tech Hour, and I am also better known as Lonnie or Lanks, and my part in the show will actually be the music and the instrumentals put behind the actual show, and in the beginning and end, you will hear a song by me, written by me and produced by me.
All right, good. All right, so Houston, with that said, as you can see, the future is very bright. And if you remember Team Summit, we want you to associate that with this particular show here at the Smart Millennial Tech Hour. And what we want to do is connect with every part of the audience. Our sons are here to connect with their generation, meaning the next generation. And we are here, my wife is here to connect with the women and women in leadership and to make all women leaders. And I am here to connect with the men and to help all men become all pro dads. So that's what we're about. We're here to address any technology questions that you may have, and we're here to create positive energy, and most importantly, we're trying to create a better, innovative, and technology future for all people here in Houston via the Smart Millennial Tech Hour. Now, we also want to let you know that today we have one sponsor, which this show is powered by Mobile Encryption Technologies, which is a cybersecurity and IoT infrastructure, encryption, and mobile solution provider company. The website is mobile-encryption.net. And there you can find more about this particular sponsor. They are by far the #1 technology company in Houston, Texas. And we're proud to have them as our sponsor for show #1. So with that said, we're going to stop it here. We're going to move over to stage 2. And we're going to now connect with the audience and get into the announcements and a deeper dive into the subject matter of checking that open back door in your home. Stay tuned. Hello, Houston. I'm Johnny Taylor.
And I'm Taylor. Hello, everyone. We would like for you to join us for the Smart Millennium Tech Hour right here on KCOH 1230 every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
The purpose of the Smart Millennium Tech Hour is to create and maintain a platform exclusively for teenagers in Houston, the state of Texas, the USA, and the world as a whole. Our goal is to share, teach, collaborate, and grow the millennial population and demographic. The message is clear. You are the generation of fulfillment, where our generation, the Generation Xers, is the generation of faith. And the prior ancestors was the generation of hope. Okay, millennials, let's man up, lady up, educate up, train up, stand up. Smart Millennium, organize up, turn up.
Be sure and join us for the Smart Millennium Tech Hour this Saturday beginning at 10 a.m.
Powered by Mobile Encryption Technologies, a true mobile solution and encryption company.
It's a smart millennial. New generation, yeah, it's a smart millennial.
Good morning, Houston, and welcome to the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, powered by Mobile Encryption Technologies, LLC. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Taylor.
Hello, Houston. Thank you for having us today.
And we're both here as a team, as your host and co-host, to bring you the best cutting-edge innovation in technology every Saturday morning right here from the Smart Labs off of Alameda in Riverside, the #1 entertainment destination in Houston. And if you're an old school player out there, we're right where the old El Dorado used to be. So you should be able to connect right to that. Well, right now we want you to know that we're talking about checking that open back door in your house. And parents, you may not even know that when you go off to sleep, your children may be in their room or in the den or in the kitchen and in other parts of the house with their mobile device or their computer or their laptop or these various electronic devices. Well, what I want you to know here this morning, and what we want you to know here this morning as a team, that you need to check that back door on those devices. That means you need to be aware of the username, #1, passwords, #2, and the social media addresses and login credentials as well, so that you can get the real picture and the total picture of your children, meaning your daughter or your son. And believe it or not, we all want to believe the best for our children and hope for the best, and maybe sometimes prepare for the worst. Our children live separate lives, independent of us as parents and independent as our family. And we're here today to tell you that. And more importantly, we're here to tell you a solution on how to solve that problem in terms of getting into those devices. Taylor, can you tell the audience some of the things that you do with our sons? And if you can maybe go back maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 years when we were having to get control of their devices to know what's going on with them. Can you share with some of our listeners and viewers here this morning in terms of what some of the strategies that you use that they may be able to adopt in or apply to make sure they get the clear picture and the total picture?
So some of those strategies are knowing the passcode. And even if you don't know the passcode, maybe grabbing that phone when they have it open. Just grab it. Just grab that phone, look at what they're looking at, look and see who they're texting, look and see if they have ghost names or any other names. Also, taking their cell phones don't sometimes work. Because we have an after-school program where we tutor students. And some of the things that we've come across is even if a parent takes a cell phone, they can ride home on the bus or they can be at school on somebody else's cell phone. But you got to get into the conversation with your kids. You got to know what's going on. They say don't be your kid's friend. Sometimes you have to be their friends to find out what's going on and be interested. Don't always come down on them, because be a part of the conversation. Takes a village. Have you some eyes and ears in other places. I'm eyes and ears for a lot of parents. I'm eyes and ears at home too. So I learned stuff from my students that I can carry over with our sons that has helped us to grow that trust between our sons. Look, I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm only here to help you. I'm not getting ready to punish you. I'm going to actually give you the phone. Maybe you can do something good with it. You can help somebody else. So don't always be negative. Negative energy never comes across positive.
Never.
So if you can kill that negative spirit with something positive, and you can grow that trust and be able to get into that phone and know what's going on with your children.
And parents, what we want you to know too, as parents, you have to make your children aware of stranger danger, okay? And just because you see a picture on Facebook or Instagram or some of these other social sites, Twitter, doesn't mean that that is who that person is, okay? Because what you're going to see here are some actual case studies and use cases in terms of solutions to these types of problems. Now, what we want you to know, parents, a lot of times you may not be aware that when your children are out there gaming has become a social environment today, okay? So what that means is you can have multiple players playing in multiple settings, in multiple environments, and everyone may not be the same age, may not be peers, some may be adults, some may be younger children, some may be teens, some may be college students. And as you know, when you mix populations, then you get mixed behaviors. So what we want you to know is that you need to know that username and that password. And you need to not only know it, but you need to go into those particular platforms. As Taylor just said, you need to take a deep dive into the actual information, into the data sets, in terms of what communications, what those lines of communications are saying, and most importantly, who those lines of communications are with. And once you get that information, then you need to come out of the digital world back into the physical world and have a breakfast or a lunch or dinner conversation with your child about those particular data nuggets or those line items, one at a time. And one of the things that you may want to also do is spend some time and go ahead and connect with your children over social media, if you are on social media. All right, and Houston, welcome back to the Smart Millennial Tech Hour. And we just want to say thank you for those sponsors who were able to sponsor Show 1. We also want to let other people and other companies know that there are many other sponsorship opportunities here on the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, powered by mobile encryption technology. And we would love to connect with you and meet you to do business. Now, Houston, what we would like to do now is give you two particular use cases of some social media experiences that two of our sons have had. Both have been negative in the initial implementation, but as we went through the process, we were able to learn and come up with some viable solutions beyond the problem. Okay? So with that said, Houston, I'd like to introduce you to Jahil Taylor. And Jahil, could you share with the audience your use case?
Well, recently, almost 4 years ago, I had my first social media experience on Twitter. I use Twitter to find girls and try to be friends with them. It was a negative impact. Why? Because I found a girl that was my age, but technically she was 13. And added to that, I was in a rush by saying some stuff out of the blue that I should not have said. And I got caught by my parents taking my phone and all my returns for 2 to 4 weeks of what I just did. And then, I did the same thing almost 2 to 3 months ago. I used this app called Monkey. So basically, it's an app that you use to talk to people by showing their face while talking to them. And then I got caught again because Mom told me where we just are, and I told her that I was on YouTube, but still I was on that I called Monkey. Then I got a whooping, and I got my electronics equipment for a month. And afterwards, I think about what I just did, how can I improve myself, and how can I better myself by other ways to communicate to other people. And the way I did that is by going out in the real world, talking to people who have high respect, high integrity, and nice and beautiful kindness. And let me give you another social media advice, ladies and gentlemen, and all those people out there who use social media. When you see someone, no matter it's a picture, a photo, or anything, it may be that person, but it could be someone else behind that picture. You may think it's a girl, for example, you try to be friends with, but instead, you can find an old guy, an old woman, a bisexual person, a trisexual person, a homosexual person. In other words, people you don't even know. So just because you see someone on social media doesn't mean it's them. Agree, but verify.
Now that's a great point. Now, and Gio just brought up a really great point, audience. When I teach my sons, and I would strongly suggest that you as parents adopt this as well, you have to start every relationship with zero trust. Zero trust. So say that with me, Gio. Zero trust.
Zero trust.
Zero trust. And what that means in our world of cybersecurity, everything starts with zero trust. And trust has to be built over time and over experience. So teenagers, social media users, remember zero trust as the key takeaway to this segment. What we would like to do now is bring another use case. And Gio, let me stand up and shake your hand, young man, and say thank you for that wonderful insight. And the audience want to say thank you as well. All right, if you can exit right, and Johnny, if you can come on in, and we would like to get your use case in terms of what we're going to talk about next in terms of this example. So, next audience, I would like to introduce you to Johnny Taylor IV. Welcome back to the Smart Millennial Tech Hour. And Johnny, I would like to know if you could share with the audience some of these new types of social media platforms that parents may not be aware of, that they need to check that open back door in their household. What do you say?
Well, actually, Snapchat is an app.
Keep going. Johnny, keep going.
Snapchat has been adding a lot of features lately. In fact, Snapchat just added a location feature where you're able to see people that you add on Snapchat's location. So let's say you or somebody you know meet somebody who says they're 13 but could actually be 19. And if you add them on Snapchat, they're allowed to see their location, which means they know where you are anytime, anywhere.
Now, could you also talk about some of these other apps that you and Mom have been talking about since children have gone back to school, and so that you can introduce these parents to some of these new platforms or social platforms that they need to access to know what's going on with their children?
Yes, actually, TikTok and Musical.ly are both the same thing. In fact, Musical.ly got shut down for having too many inappropriate videos on it. So they had to make a whole nother app called TikTok. And basically the same thing is happening, but there's younger kids getting into it. Like, there are 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds going on TikTok.
Now, what about the app Monkey, as well as any others?
Monkey is an app where you can video chat with random people to meet them, but there's some kids who are going on there and claim to be older than they are, like
Pretenders, right?
yeah, pretenders. Like
Yeah.
okay, so I was on Monkey one time and it said this girl was 14, and then I answered the video call and it was a guy who was 20.
Wow. So, parents, we can't be any clearer. And the reason why we have brought these two use cases before you is because we're in tune with our children. We make sure that we check their devices. We make sure that we check what's going on with them socially, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And parents, I just want to say to each of us, it is not an option, it's a requirement, and it's our duty, and it's our responsibility. And what we want you to know, that there is a whole nother world taking root and hold in these digital environments, just like we have the physical world that we work in, we live in, and we exist in. Well, the next generation of these millennials and younger children in Generation Z and X are all on these social media platforms 24/7. Okay? So if you are not tapping in, be assured that someone else is. Okay? We're going to stop here. We're going to recognize the next group of sponsors. We're at the 40, and we'll be back after this break.
I actually thought, I didn't know girls had mustaches.
Welcome back to the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, powered by Mobile Encryption Technologies. Parents, today being September the 14th, 2019, we are talking today about that open back door in your house. And parents, again, we want you to know that this is not a physical back door, but rather a virtual back door with any type of mobile device that may provide any type of internet access for your children to access that internet from any location. So we've given you a couple of use cases in the last segment where we gave you two examples of two of our sons who have had some not so positive experiences in terms of social media. So what we like to do whenever you come here to the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, we will open the phone line up every Saturday at the 45 minutes after the hour to accept or answer any questions that the audience may have. So we will provide that number to you at the end of the show today. And like anything else, when you have a problem, you have to look for the solution. So I think we can all agree that there are some problems today with social media, what takes place on social media, and the level of trust on social media. And I think we can all agree that everything that we see is not necessarily actually what it is. And just because you see a picture today doesn't mean that's the actual person tomorrow. So be aware of that. So we've given you some problems, and what we want to do now is parents give you some solutions and some recommendations of things that you can do on a day-to-day basis to, again, be in tune with your children socially and to know what's going on with them personally and things that may not be communicated to you. So number one, you need to check the mobile devices daily, like homework. That's number one. Number two, you need to gain and know the access login as well as the password to every email account, every social media account, or any type of internet account, or any type of mobile device account. That's number two. And number three, you need to communicate with your children and know what's going on with them mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's your duty, period. Okay? And number four, we cannot keep our children safe if we do not know the facts. That is why the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, powered by Mobile Encryption Technology, is producing this weekly show on the all-new Smart Labs here off of Alameda and Riverside. We also need you to know that you need to know the boundaries of the appropriate and non-appropriate online use. And you need to also make for sure that you teach your children what those particular uses are and what uses are not acceptable. Also, parents, if you have a computer in your home, I highly recommend that you put that computer in a centralized location so that everyone can see what's going on that screen. Now, it's also important, parents, for you to implement what we call screen trackers. What we do here in our household is we create screen assignments. So it doesn't matter what screen you use, whether that's a TV screen or a mobile device screen or a computer screen. You get 4 hours a day to use a screen. Once those 4 hours are over, you know what? Your screen time is over, your internet access is over, and like anything else, parents, too much of anything becomes unhealthy. So if you have your children and you're just giving them free access to the internet with no monitoring, not checking what they're doing, I just want you to know that you are opening and putting your children at risk into a lot of environments that they should not be in. The internet is not regulated, it is not monitored, and anything can happen at any time, any place. And with video conferencing, anybody can appear in your house without you ever doing it, period, point blank. So just know the threat is real, know that trust has to be built, and know that your children are talking to people outside of your household through that open back door in your house. So be aware, secure that back door, close that back door, put the right controls in place around your systems, around those mobile devices, and most importantly around your children, which are your most important assets of your life. So with that said, I would like to stop here and see if you have any questions. We're going to open the phone lines up here and we will see what calls we get. You can call the show at area code 832-756-46 4607. Once again, that direct number is area code 832-756-4607. We also want to make you aware that currently I am running for mayor here in Houston under what's called the All Campaign Stronger Together. That website is Taylor in the number 4 Houston.com. And you can catch the light in the way via our app in the Google Play Store or via our website. Once you get on the website or in the app, I would strongly recommend the first thing you do is go ahead and connect with the team. Second, I would ask that you read the letter that we've written to all Houstonians. And then third, we ask that you will join the team and help to create this movement and to take control of our future. So that's the plug for the All Campaign Stronger Together. I want to just make sure that we just refocus on what we're talking about today, which is securing that back door in your house. And you're listening live and watching live here today on the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, powered by Mobile Encryption Technologies. We also want to recognize our production director and executive, Mr. Sherman Harris. We're glad that he is on the team with us. And if it wasn't for Mr. Harris, this show would not be broadcast on a week-to-week basis. So we're very glad and happy to have Mr. Sherman Harris on the team. We appreciate his leadership and the value that he adds on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, and know that this show is only going north and going up, and it's only going to get better as we get more time under our belt. So you're listening live and watching live, Smart Millennial Tech Hour. We're talking about securing that open back door in your house. Parents, just know that you have that open back door in your house. Your kids are in those rooms, maybe in your bathroom, in your kitchen, having these secondary, third party, second party conversations with people you haven't even met. It's your duty, it's your responsibility to secure that back door, and you do that by, again, making for sure that you know the login information and the credentials for every email account, for every social media account, and every platform that your children may be using, either independently or collectively. And more importantly, if they are on Skype or these video conferencing sites, just know that there's no such thing as delete. Just know with certainty that every technology, telecommunications company, mobile network operating company is regulated by the FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission. And that group mandates that every company maintain records for a minimum of 7 to 10 years. So when you hit delete on your computer, you may think it's gone, or on your phone, you may think it's gone. Just know that that server is backed up in that carrier's data center, and they are holding those records, and they are maintaining those records because they are mandated and required to do so in accordance with the FCC regulations. So just know, also parents, when your children are out there on those social media sites, they need to be aware that video will be out there for life. So if you're creating these negative videos and then posting them to Instagram or Facebook or any of these other platforms, that information's out there for life. So if you're out there creating a video, drinking or smoking marijuana or partying or doing something negative, and it comes time for you to get into college, or it's time for you to be considered for a scholarship, or it's time for you to get that first big job opportunity, or it's time for you to go off to the military, or to go to the next phase of your life, well, I just want you to know here in Houston, listening here to the Smart Millennial Tech Hour and watching the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, powered by Mobile Encryption Technologies, LLC, that that information will prevent you from getting into that next door or that next stage of entry, because the first thing that those companies or those groups will do is do the research on you over social media, over the internet, and any background information that they can obtain to make a more informed, intelligent decision. So do not ruin your future by making a bad decision while you're young. Making sure that you understand that nothing is ever deleted. Making sure that you understand that these telecom and mobile companies are regulated and they have rules that they must follow. And when you hit delete, that information is still stored in their databases and their servers, and they still have records. Just like when there is something that happens or a legal case, you wonder how they're able to go back and retrieve that information. I just gave you the method and the procedures on how they're able to do that. So we're going to stop here. We're going to recognize our next sponsor here on the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, and we're going to come back with the announcements, and we're going to give you the insights for the next show next week. And we thank you for watching the Smart Millennial Tech Hour, powered by Mobile Encryption Technologies, LLC.
Match? Okay, it's good. We'll swing by in about 5, 10, 15 minutes. We got you.
Line to line, live, hood, put in work, boy. I dedicate every day to get up on my grind, because I swear that success in life is so hard to find. I ain't got no time for no man, so y'all can follow the line. So best believe, but I put in that work. Yeah, I put it in the dirt. Yeah, I put it in that work. So I put them in the dirt. Yeah, I'm putting in that work. So I put them in the dirt. Put it in that work. So I put them in the dirt. Yeah, put it in that work. So I put them in the dirt. Put it in that work. So I put them in the dirt. Yeah, put it in that work. So I put them in the dirt. Put it in that work. So I put them in the dirt.
Okay, put them in the dirt, I swear that we gon' put in work. I don't care if that's your girl, I take her, then we gonna flirt. I pull up with fresh teas and exotic work. Little homie, stop it please, you just tryna learn. Hey, I turn up, you know, it's real. H-Town, Houston, Texas, I'ma keep it chill. All my raps, I know the competition gonna feel. Ayy, I come back and kill the track. I love my city, put it on the map. Don't fall for tricks, so I ain't even in the trap. Run past these dudes like they getting overlap.
What you say?
Like they getting overlap. Don't care about you and your crew, I'ma keep it cool. Blue suits peeping out the scene. Yeah, I see you tryna hate, so I show them no fate. Run through your mouth like Listerine or the Colgate. Hey,
I dedicate every day to get up on my grind, because I swear that success in life is so hard to find. I ain't got no time for no man, so y'all can fall in line. So best believe every day I put in work. Yeah, I put them in the dirt. Yeah, I put it in that work. So I put them in that dirt. Yeah, I'm putting in that work. So I put them in that dirt. Put it in that work. So I put them in the dirt. Like,
Yeah, put it in the work. Always letting y'all know I lurk. They be trying to make me mad, but I just crack a little smirk. I swear that you are like little birds, but I don't have to stress. I just have to put it in the work. I show you just with actions. I don't need any words.
I don't need any words. Yeah, I don't need any words, cause when I'm putting in that work, I ain't trying to be disturbed. If y'all come at me with all that y'all talk, to y'all automatically defer. I don't know what y'all heard, but man, I'm the worst. I got your bay down by the bay. I don't care what you say. Me and my people, we here to stay. Every time I come on the track, I eat it up just like Chick-fil-A. Hey, hey, and I be grinding all day. Hey, so I put in work and I put these little boys in the dirt. Hey, I dedicate every day to get up on my grind, because I swear the success in life is so hard to find. I ain't got no time for no mess, so y'all can follow line. So best believe every day I put in work. Yeah, I put them in the dirt. Yeah, I'm putting in that work. Yeah, I'm putting in the dirt. Putting in that work, so I put them in the dirt. Putting in work, so I put them in the dirt like
Game over.